Permission offers a totally different invitation to show up as our most weird and wonderful in the moments that matter when the stakes are high, so that we can connect like a real human and treat other humans out there as real humans. Permission to speak is a reimagining of why we speak in public and a revolution in how to think about your voice and everyone else's. Humans are just so adaptable, and we've picked up messages our whole life from our parents and from our first job and from our school about how to sound to be approved, how to sound to be liked, how to sound to be loved, how to sound to get taken seriously. I mean, this is actually linguistics. We are making adjustments all the time in order to be accepted. And then obviously, for many of us, we reach a moment where we think, well, but who am I inside of that? What is my voice? What do I recognize as me? And that's an interesting moment. There are standards for what an authoritative voice sounds like that are invisible. I mean, voices are invisible, so we don't think about it. But most of us are walking around with assumptions that are actually biases, not our fault, but we've breathed the air. And we have these standards in our head of what a powerful person should sound like. And then if we don't feel like we fit that standard, all hell breaks loose. We try to get a little bit more power, and we think, well, then I have to sound like this person. I have to sound like this type of formality. And our head is full of so many shoulds. The last thing we're going to do is show up like a whole human ready to connect, which is actually what we wish we could do in those moments. Permission is this sense of freedom, right? I think it's actually the opposite of shame. And what's happened for a lot of us, because of the messaging that we've gotten around how to speak up and what our voices are supposed to sound like if we want to sound powerful, is that we've got a lot of messy feelings, shame being one of them, around our voices. It's why people don't like the sound of their voice. They are embarrassed, right? It feels wrong. Permission offers a totally different invitation to show up as our most weird and wonderful in the moments that matter when the stakes are high, so that we can connect like a real human and treat other humans out there as real humans, so that we can care out loud and spread that care. It's a completely different way of thinking about public speaking rather than the sort of shoulds that happen when we're thinking about shame and the opposite of permission. You know, writing the book was such a challenge, partly because a central tenet of what I write about is not changing your voice to fit a context where you don't actually need to change it. It's just, there's old stories. By that, what I really mean is I had to figure out how to write so that the voice on the page I recognized as me. I wasn't trying to write as someone else. I wasn't trying to write as someone I admire, someone who, let's be honest, what we really mean when we say that is someone who's doing it right compared to us. And instead, to really honor the ideas I had and the way I thought to articulate them. And think that's enough. That's it, that's me. This is what my actual voice sounds like now. So that was a huge learning process and quite humbling.